Those of you that have watched my other segmented turning videos are familiar with this sled. It has an adjustable fence on this side that you set for whatever the angle is that you need. It's got a little stop here on this side. You can set the length of your segment. And then it's got this hold down that it holds the segment while you're cutting it. It works fine. It takes a little bit of trial and error sometimes to get the thing set up, and you really, at least I haven't been able to go from the sled to a full ring glue up without doing a half ring and then cleaning it up. So, and you've seen that in my other videos as well. Another problem I have with this sled is the runners on the bottom are oak, and we've had a lot of rain lately, and everything is pretty much swollen up, so I can't get the sled to move in the tracks on the saw, which is a problem. So I would have to have done something with that. A while back for my jigs, I started using this PVC board that you buy at the home center. It's 3/4 of an inch thick. It fits right into the miter gauge slot, and it's not subject to expansion and contraction like the wood. So what I do is I rip off whatever part off the either side that I need, and it's kind of got a nice edge on it there, and that's what I use for my jigs. Now that works out pretty well. So if that sled wasn't working, I've switched to another sled. It's called a Wedgie Sled, and it's by I guess it was invented by Jerry Bennett. His website is Seg Easy, that's S-E-G easy.com. He's also got some videos on YouTube. A couple of them, one of them shows you how to make this sled, and there's also some plans on the on his website. So the idea is that you take an included angle. For a 12 segment ring, it's 30 degrees, so you just use a 30 degree 30, 60, 90 triangle, and you set these two fences at 30 degrees. And then you actually cut on the outside. And you'll see that when I'm doing my video, but you can certainly watch a lot of others on the internet that show how to do that. Jerry makes different segment plates. I bought a couple that I use, one for 24 segments, one for 32, and one for 16. Those are the most common segment rings that I make. So you would just do that. These the same way. You put it in there and set it for the angle. The only thing I would do make this different if I was making this again. The plan said to make these two bolts holes 4 inches apart, 2 inches on either side of the center of the piece of MDF. I probably would move those out maybe an inch or so. Maybe make the sled an inch or so longer. The problem with it was, and I did nip off this, see it there, I did nip off this particular edge right there because it was, I couldn't get a wider segment board to go through there, so I nipped that off, and it'll do a 2.5 inch wide board now, so that's probably all right, but I probably would stretch these out maybe and maybe make them 5 inches apart or whatever, and make the sled a little bit longer. So it slides nice, works well. Also on Jerry's website, he's got a couple other things like a 0-inch clearance insert. So I made one of those. You put that up there, and the sled rides right up against it, and then the saw blade comes up through that. Slots it cut right there. Plus it's got this little angle here, so your segments kind of fall away from your saw when you're cutting them, so that works out pretty good. And then also we had a stop for setting the length of the segment, so I just used that as well. You set it here and it'll slide back and forth, and you just set the width of the segment that you want. Like I said, I got all these ideas and plans for all these off of Jerry's website, so please, I'll put a link down in the comments. Please, if you're interested in doing it, don't go by what I have here. Go to the source and see what he has on his website, and maybe it'll interest you as well. So we'll cut some rings with this thing, glue them up, and I tell you, they come out if you got this angle set right, which I do with the 30, 60, 90 triangle, they come out perfect. There's no need to touch any of them up. You don't have to do any half ring glue ups. You just glue the things together and away you go. And it will definitely speed up my process of building these segmented vessels. So that's what we're going to use for this project. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing you want to do when you're using Wedgie Sled is keep the same side up and the same side against the fence. So what I do is I mark the top and the fence side with a pencil. And then I go ahead, and in this particular ring, it's got 12 segments. So I just go ahead and cut 12 segments. This is actually the first ring of a project that I'm currently working on. Here's the 12 segments that I just cut with the Wedgie Sled. You can see the pencil line on the outside of that particular piece, and then it's on the inside of another piece, and it depends on which fence you cut the segment on. The idea is you alternate those, so one piece has a line on the outside and one has it on the inside, and that compensates for any angle. If your blade's not perfectly 90 degrees to the table or whatever, that'll compensate for it. So then you just go ahead and in this particular case, I put a band clamp on it, and you'll see here in a minute that the ring went together perfect. The only thing I did do was knock off some fuzzies with a piece of sandpaper after I cut the ring. So it doesn't come out much better than this. So bottom line, if you're interested in segmented turning, or you're doing segmented turning now and your rings aren't coming out as well as you'd like, you may want to consider making yourself a Wedgie Sled. It only takes a few small pieces of MDF, a couple of knobs and some 1/4 bolts, and a little bit of time in the shop, and you got one. Go to Jerry's website, look at the plan. There's a video. He has a video on YouTube that shows how to make it, and there's also a video on how to use it for cut different kind of rings and why it actually works. I'm not even going to venture there why it works, but it does, and this will be my go-to sled from now on for all my segmented turnings.